are doing great wherever you are at this time. And as you know, we are reading one story and you are writing about it. I received one wonderful comment yesterday, and I am expecting more students to write the comments, right? To write about what did you learn from the story or anything you remember about the story, because that's the best way to enhance your skills in English, and especially about your speaking skills, because when you read something, you are learning a lot of vocabulary, you are learning a lot of about the sentence structures, right? Because in fiction, there are so many dialogues, right? And that's what the speaking is. Speaking is more about the dialogues, right? So before I start my story, I am going to share with you the PowerPoint, and I am going to show you what is coming next week. So for next week, from Monday to Friday, there is excellent news for you that I am going to start some of the live English tests for you. And those tests are, I am starting from the basic level. सो उसमें थोड़ी सी आपको मैं हिंदी की सपोर्ट भी करूँगी, बिकॉज आई एम ऑन यूट्यूब, और मेरे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके हर तरह के लेवल्स हैं, राइट? सो बहुत स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको 100% इंग्लिश समझ नहीं भी आती, तो वो भी हैं यहाँ पे, तो उनके लिए मैं थोड़ी सी सपोर्ट रखती हूँ हमेशा हिंदी में. तो ये जो आपके टेस्ट होंगे बेसिक टू एडवांस्ड इंग्लिश के, एवरी मंडे, राइट, ट्यूसडे, वेडनेसडे, थर्सडे, फ्राइडे, एक पूरे मेरे को है कि कम से कम 1.5 मंथ के लिए टेस्ट करते हैं कि आप देखो कि आपको कितनी इंग्लिश आती है. अगर नहीं आती तो यू विल बी लर्निंग थ्रू दोज टेस्ट ऑल्सो, राइट? तो वो टेस्ट आर गोइंग टू बी ऑन योर फाउंडेशनल स्किल्स, रीडिंग के बिल्कुल जो बेसिक लेवल के हैं, जिनमें फोनिक्स भी आ जाते हैं, राइट? एंड देन वी गोना हैव अ वोकैबुलरी टेस्ट, वी गोना हैव अ ग्रामर टेस्ट, we're going to have your writing skills tests, we're going to have your reading strategy skills test. I mean, everything we are going to cover skills. I'm not saying we can cover everything in 45 days, but we will be covering a lot, okay? So stay tuned, and I am going to share the PowerPoint with you. But before that, I have to plug in my laptop because I forgot to plug in and the battery is low. Okay. Now I'm fine. Okay. So I am going to share the story. As you know, we already read the story so far about that Dr. Henry is already he drank the drug, which drug means the medicine which he just invented. This is something his own experiment, because he's a doctor and he is tapping on the other character in his body, right? As you know, we have an angel on the one shoulder and devil on the other shoulder. That means each human being, we all have a good part and bad part, but it depends on us कि हम किसको ज़्यादा यूज़ करते हैं, राइट? हम ज़्यादा अच्छे इंसान बनना चाहते हैं या बुरे इंसान बनते हैं, और उसकी बात है. तो दिस इज़ ऑल फिक्शन, कोई इट्स नॉट अ ट्रू स्टोरी, इट्स जस्ट इमेजिनेशन, राइट? Okay, so let's move on. Before that, let me see if you are here. Say hi and try to interact. अगर मैं कोई आपको क्वेश्चन करती हूँ तो कोशिश करो कि कमेंट जो लाइव हमारी चैट है इसमें आप आंसर करो मुझे, ठीक है? So यहाँ से हमने जो किया, and because he was writing, he said all night he just sat on his desk. See, when I speaking, listen that language, because everything is happening here. What he's talking about is in the past. So he said, so I spent the evening, I got to know everything I could about Edward Hyde, because that was his actual character. But now he's converting himself, that was his another evil character, right? Because he is Dr. Henry, who is a very kind doctor. बहुत ही अच्छा इंसान है, बहुत अच्छा डॉक्टर है वो, बट वो अब उसको जो एक्सपेरिमेंट है उससे वो एडवर्ड हाइड बनने जा रहा है, जो कि एक बुरा करेक्टर है, जो कि एक बहुत ही मीन करेक्टर है, राइट? मीन करेक्टर बनने जा रहा है। तो वो अपनी सारी स्टोरी उसके ऊपर, जो वो करेक्टर बनने जा रहा है कि मैं क्या करूँगा, मैं इस तरह का बनूंगा, मैं ये करूँगा, मैं वो करूँगा, वो अपना करेक्टर जो है वो इमेजिन कर रहा है, उसको लिख रहा है। दैट्स व्हाट इट इज। नाउ quickly, I poured the white powder into another glass of the red liquid. Once again, I drank the smoking drink, and once again, I felt the shaking, the pain, the breaking of my bones. So he did that experiment again. When at last the pain stopped, I looked into the mirror. There, looking back at me, was the kind face of Dr. Henry. So, what he is doing? He is drinking the medicine which converting him to a bad person, Edward, and then he has to drink a medicine again so he can come back to his real character again, and he is Dr. Henry. Now, one more thing before I start reading this. You might have watched, there are so many movies like that. It was like फॉर एग्जाम्पल मिस्टर इंडिया थी एक मूवी जिसमें वो इनविजिबल हो जाता है, विजिबल हो जाता है, और एक मूवी थी, अभी मुझे उसका नाम नहीं याद आ रहा, एंड दैट वो भी उसमें था कि उसके कहीं ब्रेन में ही गॉट इंजर्ड और उसकी मेमोरी जो है वो आ जाती थी, तो वो एक नाइस बन जाता था इंसान, बट जब उसकी मेमोरी चले जाती थी तो वो बहुत मीन हो जाता था। सो उस तरह की ये और भी मैंने एक प्ले था पाकिस्तान का, वो भी कुछ इस तरह का ही था कि वो नाइट टाइम पे वो चेंज हो जाता है एंड ही बिकम्स लाइक इवल, राइट? तो देर आर सो मैनी adopted these kind of movies also are out there कि हर इंसान के अंदर एक अच्छा इंसान है और एक बुरा इंसान है. So let's move on to the story. So I'm just telling you because you might have seen it. Like this is something like सबसे पहले हो सकता this was the story, but after that people picked up this kind of plot and they started creating their own stories, right? So when at last the pain stopped, I looked into the mirror, and now again he is a Dr. Henry. He saw himself as a kind face because the bad is the mean face. The next day, I saw many sick people because naturally when he's a doctor, he is there for patients, right? So he's doing his practice. But my mind was not on them. I was thinking about Edward Hyde. He was real. And so I had to make a place for him in the world. Now, this is very important. See, he said, my mind was not on them. That means he was just thinking the other side of himself, right? Because his other side, which he wants to tap on, is a bad character, and that is Edward Hyde. So that's what he is thinking about. He said he was real. So एक जो हमारे अंदर जो नेगेटिविटी है वो भी रियल है, वो झूठ नहीं है, राइट? पर उसको हम कितना अगर मैं हिंदी में कहूँ तो जगाते हैं, राइट? वो देखने की वाली बात है. तो he said he was real and so I had to make a place for him in this world. तो अब वो जब रियल है तो मुझे उसके लिए भी तो सोचना पड़ेगा ना कि मुझे वो दुनिया में तो वो जाएगा. अभी एक और मूवी याद आ गई मुझे, चाची 420, राइट? कमल हसन की थी वो मूवी, तो उसमें वो भी कैरेक्टर चेंज करता है अपना, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज कि इट्स रियल. सो मुझे वो भी बनना है, मुझे वो भी बनना है. तो जब मैं एडवर्ड हाइड बनूंगा तो वो भी तो लोगों में ही होगा ना. तो लोगों को तो नहीं पता कि मेरे दो कैरेक्टर हैं, पर मैं तो इसी दुनिया में रहूंगा, तो आई हैव टू क्रिएट अ प्लेस फॉर हिम इन दिस वर्ल्ड. ओके, द नेक्स्ट वन. In the afternoon, I closed my office. I went out to the shops. I was looking for clothes in a small size. So you remember why he is looking? Okay, this is a question for you. Why he was looking clothes for in a like why he was looking clothes in a small size? Tell me why, if there is anyone. What do you think if you remember this story? Hello, Shella. Hello. So what do you think, Shella? Why he was looking small size clothes? Do you remember that? If you watched my lesson story part 1 and then story part 2, then you should know this answer. Why? You remember that? Because he was what? Because when he was drinking that medicine or that drug, it was converting him to Edward, right? And Edward is what? That mean person is a very small, right? He turns into a very small person, like a young है, small है, size change हो जाता है उसका. So that's why he is looking for clothes, smaller size clothes, right? So yes, so Edward hides size, right? As I shopped, I wondered, why was Hyde so much smaller and younger than Dr. Henry? Why? So think about it. If you think in as a symbol, I don't know if you ever learned about symbolism in English. Symbolism is mean something represents something else. Okay, so in this one, if he is saying, I wondered why was Hyde so much smaller and younger. अब देखो जो उसमें बुराई है वो उतनी बड़ी नहीं है, राइट? क्योंकि उसका जो इतनी देर इतनी लाइफ वो उसने बहुत एक अच्छी लाइफ जिसे कह लो स्पेंड की है. ही is a doctor, he had his education, he might be when he was young, he was a good kid also, right? And now he's doing this experiment. So this is like a short period of time. He just want to see that through the experiment. So अगर मैं सिंबल की बात करूं तो साइज इज स्मॉल, दैट मीन्स कि बुराई उसमें उतनी नहीं है, राइट? सो दैट इज कॉल्ड सिंबलिज्म. वो रिप्रेजेंट करता है उसको. And it's a very deep thought, okay? And this is not like a children's story, but this story has a very deep meaning also. And why wasn't Hyde as strong as Dr. Henry? उसकी तरह वो strong भी नहीं है, size भी छोटा है. Then it came to me, for most of my life, I had been very good, right? So here it is. I had not used my bad size much. So it was not as big and it was not as big or as strong as my good side. So here it is, right? So that's the reason. It's a symbolism, okay? Again, it's called symbolism. That means वो symbolize करता है उसको कि उसकी imagination में he is small because most of the part of Dr. Henry is he's a good person, right? So he said most of my life. मोस्ट का क्या मतलब होता है? ज्यादा, बहुत ज्यादा जो है. मोस्टली मैं तो ज्यादातर तो मैं अच्छा इंसान हूं, मैं बहुत अच्छा रहा हूं. आई हैड बीन वेरी गुड, राइट? आई हैड नॉट यूज्ड माय बैड साइड सो मच. अगर आप ये पास्ट के जो देखो, हैड बीन, हैड, सो इट वाज नॉट एज बिग और एज स्ट्रॉन्ग. एज बिग और एज स्ट्रॉन्ग कंपैरिजन है, राइट? सो इसको आप सिमिलीज में भी आ जाता है. कंपैरिजन, यू यूज कंपैरिजन बाय यूजिंग लाइक और एज. देखो, अगर आपके इंटरमीडिएट और एडवांस्ड लेवल वाले स्किल्स चाहते हो तो दीज आर द थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू हेल्प यू टू बिकम एडवांस्ड इंग्लिश लर्नर्स, नॉट जस्ट लर्निंग एडवांस्ड लेवल ग्रामर ओनली, ओके? हैविंग अ गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग. नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन. So at the shops, hello Pooja Yadav, good evening. So you can, okay, so at the shop, I picked out five clothes, evening clothes for the night was to belong to Edward Hyde. So evening clothes for the night was to belong to Edward Hyde. So Edward Hyde's. So what size of clothes he was looking for? Edward Hyde's, the small size, right? So he said evening clothes because when he is around people, when he is out there with people where people can see him, he is Dr. What? He's doctor, right? And he was converting himself into the mean person. When I came back home, I called Pule and Amanda, my maid. अब इंडिया में आप सर्वेंट कहते हो, यहाँ पे सर्वेंट नहीं कहते, it's a maid. Into the living room, a man named Edward Hyde. I began. A man named Edward Hyde will visit this house often. अब often का क्या मतलब होता है? आता जाता रहेगा वो. Often होता है बहुत ज़्यादा आता जाता रहेगा. Often, sometimes, right? So these are the words which tells us about like कितनी, often means a lot, right? Often. So I have given him the door keys. Now you can imagine. So he's free to come and go as he likes. So treat him well. Do all that he wishes. Do you understand? So what he's telling to his cook, you can say the person who cooks for him is a cook or a chef, right? And the maid who does the cleaning in the house. So he's telling them that this man named Edward Hyde, he will visit this house again, often, because I gave him the house keys. So please treat him well. So now, can you imagine? Because he knows that he's gonna convert and he's gonna come home, and he has people at home, right? His chef is there, like cook is there, his maid is there. So he just wants to make sure that they are treating him same way, right? Okay, but he's not gonna tell them that he's the same person. Okay, next one. Yes, sir, they both said. As Puli left the room, I saw his face. He looked puzzled. अब puzzled क्या होता है? Puzzle का क्या मतलब होगा? पर puzzle होता है हिंदी में है कि वो बड़ा confuse हो गया, right? कि कौन आ रहा है, कभी सुना ही नहीं है इस के बारे में, कौन है एडवर्ड हाइड जो आ रहा है, और उसको की भी दे दी गई है कि वो आता जाता रहेगा, बिकॉज उस घर में कोई इस तरह का इंसान कभी पहले आया ही नहीं है, राइट? तो अगर आप सोचो अपनी लाइफ में अगर कुछ इस तरह, तो आप भी हैरान हो जाते हो कि कौन है, क्या है ये सब, है ना? तो आप वो पूछ नहीं सकता उससे, क्योंकि ही इज हिज शेफ, राइट? तो कुक है उसका, तो वो अपने बॉस से थोड़ी ना इस तरह के सवाल, कुछ क्वेश्चंस नहीं करेगा वो, राइट? सो ही वाज पजल्ड. आई हैड ऑलवेज लिव्ड अलोन. He did not understand this change. Yes, again, right? Because he lived throughout his life, he was alone. No one came in that house, and now suddenly he is telling his maid, like servants, in other words, so his maid and his cook, that there is a person who's coming. He gonna come. I gave him key, and they were like, "What? Who?" Like that. Okay, that night I asked my lawyer, Mr. Uttersons, to visit us. So Mr. Utterson, Pule showed him into my visiting room. So he came in, his lawyer came in. "Hello, Dr. Henry," said Uttersons. "I am glad to see you. It has been a long time, you know. You are so busy with your work." So his lawyer is here, right? And he is, what do you think? Why he called his lawyer? Tell me. He said, "I asked my lawyer to visit me." Why? Why do you think he called his lawyer to visit him? Who can predict? Let's see. What do you think? Why he called? What he wants to do? Anyone? Anyone can make predictions? See, predictions means based on the story, or you can make inferences, in other words. That's all it means. Based on this story, evidence you already have, and based on your previous knowledge, something you already know, what do you think? Why he called him? Why he called him? क्या करवाना है उसने अपने lawyer से? Okay, so guys, at the same time, if you like this lesson, give me thumbs up because that really helps me कि आपको lessons किस तरह के लग रहे हैं, right? And one more thing, please share my lessons with your family and friends, whosoever is interested, to enhance their English level skills, okay? And yes, मैं आपको बार बार कहती रहती हूँ कि सिर्फ sentences सीखने से या isolation में कुछ vocabulary सीखने से आप एडवांस्ड लेवल पे नहीं जा सकते जितनी देर आप हायर ऑर्डर जो कि आपके थिंकिंग स्किल्स हैं और लर्निंग स्किल्स हैं, लैंग्वेज स्किल्स हैं, वो नहीं आपको आते, उतनी देर आपके एडवांस्ड लेवल पे जाने हैं, फ्लुएंट बनना है, तो ये सब आपको करना होगा. यू हैव टू, अदरवाइज देयर इज नो शॉर्टकट. ओके, सो टेल मी एनीवन, so what do you think? Why he called his lawyer? Why he called his lawyer? Anyone can guess? Think about it. There is no right or wrong answer. When you are making predictions or inferencing something, there is no right or wrong answer because that is based on some of the evidence from here and some of based on your experience, right? So what do you think? Why? Okay, I'm going to the next slide. Yes, Etterson, I replied. I have so much to do. Please take a seat. I have asked you here to talk about my will. अब ये will कौन सी है? देखो, ये will आपका वो helping वाला will नहीं है. ये will है जो आपकी property की will होती है, right? Your will? Asked Etterson. I believe it's in order. It's in order means वो तो पहले बनी हुई है will. Will क्या होता है? जो आपकी property है कि when I will leave this planet Earth and who is going to get my property, right? तो किस में divide होगी वो property? वो will है. उसको आप हिंदी में क्या कहते हो? मुझे नहीं याद, अगर आपको याद हो तो लिख देना. तो विल है जो प्रॉपर्टी की आप बना के जाते हो. विल, आई थिंक विल ही कहते हैं, कि जिसमें लिखा होता है कि किसको कितनी प्रॉपर्टी मिलनी है, किस शेयर किसका कितना है. अगर आपके बच्चे हैं तो बेटा है, बेटी है, वट एवर इट इज. तो यू राइट ऑन एवरीथिंग एंड वो लीगल है, जो कि कोर्ट से या किसी लॉयर के थ्रू बना है, तो उसको विल कहते हैं. सो देयर आर सम चेंजेस आई वांट टू मेक. I told Etterson. I handed him a sheet of paper. Here is my new will. So उसने अपनी एक नई will बना दी. Now I want you to make prediction about what do you think? What did he write down in the will, in the new will? Because उसने change कर दी अपनी will. कोई बता सकता है मुझे? सोचो. I think this question is very easy. कि उसने अपनी will change कर रहा है. Why? Yes, both identities are same. Yes, so वो अपनी will, हाँ, तो will change कर रहा है. क्यों change कर रहा है वो अपनी will? Why he wants to change it? It's very simple answer, right? Very simple answer. He wanted to change the will because he wants to live in two characters, right? He wants to live in two characters. So when he wants to live in two characters, he needs money. He needs money for both characters, right? So he has to change the will. So when he turn into the bad person, he still can use that money. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. So, hi, Karmai Zainab. Good to see you, everyone. Okay. So the next one. Okay. Etterson looked over the new will If you die, he said very slowly as he read the paper. Now see this one word read. अगर आप इसको past tense में बोलते हो तो आप इसको read बोलोगे. अब अगर आप कहोगे read तो R-E-D read होता है, नहीं. इंग्लिश में जो read word है उसके स्पेलिंग कभी चेंज नहीं होते. उसके स्पेलिंग रीड को रीड ही रहेगा, वो नहीं चेंज होगा स्पेलिंग्स में. तो रीड को, बट जब आपने इस वर्ड को यूज करना है स्पोकन इंग्लिश में या आपने रीडिंग में यूज करते हो, कहीं देखते हो ये वर्ड, तो आपको इसको रेड वर्ड यूज करना है, रेड. सो यहाँ पे ही सेड, सो ही लुक्ड ओवर द न्यू वेल. इफ यू डाई, सो उसमें क्या, इफ यू डाई ही सेड वेरी स्लोली as he read the paper, you wish to leave everything to your friend Edward Hyde. उसको बड़ी हैरानी हो रही है नेचुरली कि व्हाट, कभी जिसका नाम नहीं मैंने सुना उसके लिए तो सारी अपनी प्रॉपर्टी, पैसा, सब कुछ उसको देके जा रहा है अगर तेरी डेथ हो गई तो. He looked up at me, but Henry, what can be the meaning of this? ये क्या है सब कुछ? What does this mean? क्या कर रहा है तू? It also says here that if you are missing for 3 months, Edward Hyde is to get everything you own? Yes, Utterson, I said. But this is madness, exclaimed Utterson. Madness? Who is this Hyde? I have never even heard you speak to him before. वो उसका फ्रेंड भी है और लॉयर भी है, फ्रेंड भी है, तो उसने भी कभी नहीं सुना. सेम थिंग, सर्वेंट्स ने कभी उसका नाम नहीं सुना. एंड नाउ ही इज सेइंग कि उसको मैंने डोर की दे दी है, ही कैन कम टू द हाउस, ट्रीट हिम वेल. And everyone is so puzzled, everyone is confused, everyone is like, what's wrong with him, right? So कि सारी प्रॉपर्टी उसको देके जा रहा है जिसका मैंने कभी नाम ही नहीं सुना. दिस इज मैडनेस. ये तो तेरा पागलपन है, तू कर क्या रहा है, राइट? इट्स लाइक दैट. ओके, so let me go back to here. Hello everyone. So tell me, so far, are you enjoying this story? Because suddenly he's a doctor, he's a very kind doctor, but he's doing this experiment and turning himself in a bad person once in a while. He wants to live in 2 characters, and he just, told his cook, his maid, and now he's telling to his lawyer that change the will, and I want to give everything to this person Hyde. If I die, if something happened to me, if I disappear, and this person is the one who will get all my money, right? All my property, and everyone is very confused, right? Very puzzled, because this doctor lived throughout his life alone by himself. He doesn't have any family. He just have 2, servants, you can say in Indian words if you use this, or a cook and a maid at home, and a friend lawyer. But they all are confused. They all are very confused that what's wrong with this person? Why he is giving all this money to someone we never met, right? Because they are the closest people they are like his family, right? So, but they don't even know this person. Hello, Vidya. So, guys, if you like this story so far, please give me thumbs up. मुझे पता चलता है उससे कि आप enjoy कर रहे हो इस story को. I know this story has a deep meanings, right? Because this story has a symbolisms also. So it's like on I can say intermediate level. बिल्कुल beginning level वाली तो नहीं है. But even if you are on beginning level पे, basic level पे हो, तो but most of you are adults, right? Or maybe are like teens. तो ये एक्चुअली टीन्स के लेवल की स्टोरी है. टीन जो होते हैं ना, 13, 14 काइंड ऑफ किड्स, उनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लेवल की है ये स्टोरी. बिल्कुल छोटे बच्चों के लेवल की तो नहीं है, बट हाँ, इससे आप सीख सकते हो, इसमें कुछ भी इस तरह की नहीं है, बड़ी नाइस वे से एक ह्यूमन कैरेक्टर के बारे में बात हो रही है, नहीं? सो ओके, यस, सो वो उस नाउ everyone is puzzled, right? So far, whatever you learned in these 3 videos, I expect you to write down without looking at it, whatever the way I am telling you, right? There is a doctor, he's very nice, or you can use it in a present form, or whatever you want to say. You can use in a past form, right? There was a doctor, he was very nice, he was very gentle, and he just wanted to do an experiment, and he did that experiment. He had the medicine, he mixed it up, he drank it, and then he changed into a bad person, right? And when he changed into the bad person, he was very small. He had, so see, I am paraphrasing right now. That is the way you paraphrase. I'm not looking anything. I'm not reading the story, right? But whatever I am doing right now is whatever I learned so far from this story. So that's what you need to do. If you want to become advanced English speaker, reader, writer, you need to do all these skills. So you have to read that information and then review that information and review it. That means again and again and again. That will help you to improve your speaking skills too, right? So now, if I talk about this person so far, so you can say this story is about, now you can start like this. This story is about one doctor, and if you didn't even remember the name, one doctor, or he is Dr. Henry, and he is a very kind, very nice, very caring, very helpful. So you see how you are using all these adjectives, the adjectives that describes a good character, right? So he's a very honest, gentle, right? Very like a caring person. He doesn't even charge the fee from poor people. Think about it, right? So वो कितना एक इतना अच्छा करेक्टर है, इतना नाइस करेक्टर है, but now he wants to do one experiment, and he invented one medicine or drug which he gonna drink, right? And then that changed him into a good person, a bad person, and then he has to drink the medicine again, that changed him into again back to the good person. So when he drinks that medicine and he changed into a bad person, his size also changed. He becomes very small, right? And he becomes very small, so he had to buy the small clothes for that small character. Then why he turned into small size? Because most of his life he was a good person, right? But that side, which is the bad side in his character, he never tapped on it. He never thought about it. But now he wants to experiment it, and that is just for a short period of time. So that is kind of like a symbolism that represents that his bad side is very small as compared to his good side, right? So that person is very small, so he has to buy the clothes for that person. And then he told his cook and his maid that this person, I just already gave him the key, and he gonna come to the house, just treat him well. And he called his lawyer also. He's now wants to change the will. He wants to write down everything for hide the another bad person. And his lawyer, because his lawyer is his friend also, and his servants and his lawyer, they all are very confused, very puzzled, very surprised. You see, the puzzled, confused, surprised. Even his friend, the lawyer, said, "Are you mad? This is madness. What are you thinking? Why you want to give all your property to a person you don't even know," right? So you see how when you are reviewing the story, you will be using so much language. It's gonna make you fluent. You always say, "Man, we want a fluent English speaker like you." That's the way you need to learn the language, right? Even if you don't have anyone to practice with you, you can enhance your skills on a very advanced level, okay? So it's not just by doing everything in isolation, Okay, so I know there are many students out there, they don't understand this concept which I am trying to tell you, because I can see that many students are not watching these lessons. Why? Because they are looking for easy way out. ईजी वे आउट उनका है कि हम बस छोटी छोटी चीज़ों में के सीख लें और फिर उससे वो खुश हो जाते हैं, बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं वो कि हमने बहुत कुछ सीख लिया. इस तरह से आपने फ्लुएंट नहीं बनना. मैं आपको बार बार कह रही हूँ, फ्लुएंट बनना है तो आपको एडवांस लेवल की इंग्लिश के स्किल्स की प्रैक्टिस करनी होगी. ओके, सो प्लीज़ मैं जो भी कह रही हूँ आपको अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस पे, अपने लेवल पे सीखने के लिए, and as an educator also, because teaching English is my profession. Okay, so try to understand that. कोई एक एक्सपर्ट बता रहा है आपको और जो खुद और इतना एक्सपोजर है मेरा, राइट? मैं नहीं कहती मुझे सब कुछ आता है, मैं बिल्कुल नहीं कहती. मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ आई एम अ लर्नर, राइट? वी ऑल आर ऑन डिफरेंट लेवल्स, राइट? बट आई एम अ लर्नर. So I'm gonna stop here. I might gonna bring these lessons once a while, because I noticed that many of you are not interested in these kind of lessons. So I don't know if you will be interested. I might gonna start a course for advanced level English or intermediate level English, where students can pay some fee and then come to my class if they want to become fluent. Okay, because on YouTube I didn't notice a lot of positive response for these kind of lessons. And these kind of lessons only someone can teach you who knows a lot of English, because there is so much where I just pose you the question right away, whatever comes in my mind, because you have to have your higher level thinking skills in order to teach and in order to grab that information too. So in future, if you will be interested to take any kind of a courses where you want to become actually a fluent English speaker, then you can text me and I can think about it, because these kind of lessons are not very productive online. Okay, many students are their mindset is different. Their mindset is so much like fixed mindset कि उनको sentences सीख सीख के, ट्रांसलेशन कर कर के, आइसोलेशन में ग्रामर सीख सीख के ही इंग्लिश इम्प्रूव करनी है. तो भाई फिर लगे रहो मुन्ना बाई वाला बात है, वो सारी उम्र वाला काम है. बट अगर आपको फ्लुएंट इंग्लिश स्पीकर बनना है, then you have to learn a very advanced level strategies. Okay, so बहुत सारा लेक्चर हो गया मेरा. कई बार हो जाता है, क्योंकि कई बार मुझे होता है ये क्यों नहीं समझ रहे, मैं इनको समझाने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. Okay, so let's see. Hi, good. Okay everyone, then I will see you tomorrow if you are joining my live stream class. और एक स्टूडेंट था, कोई पता नहीं, उसने कहा मैम मुझे आपका फ़ोन ऐड नहीं हो रहा. देखो, अगर आपको मेरा फ़ोन ऐड नहीं हो रहा, वैसे तो मैंने बताया आपको कि 001 लगता है उसके साथ, 703 से पहले, क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल नंबर है, अमेरिका का है. तो अगर आप से वो नहीं हो रहा तो आप क्या करो कि मुझे कमेंट्स में लिख दो फिर फ़ोन नंबर, तो मैं ऐड कर लूँगी. मैं इतना भी कर लूँगी आपके लिए, दैट्स फाइन. बट कम से कम जूम जो ऐप है वो आपको डाउनलोड करनी है, क्योंकि उस ऐप के बिना आप नहीं मेरी क्लास नहीं ज्वाइन कर सकते, सैटरडे वाली क्लास. सो I hope to see many of you tomorrow in my live class. And Monday से, जैसे मैंने बताया आपको कि मैं काफ़ी सारे जो टेस्ट लेके आ रही हूँ लैंग्वेज के ऊपर, तो you can enhance your skills. Okay, have a wonderful day and stay blessed.